Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Metal Matt Podcast. I am your host, Metal Matt, and today we're going to be talking about Twilight. And this is going to be a very special Valentine's Day episode. I'm going to try and get this out on Valentine's Day anyway. First of all, shout outs. First of all, Chucky's Playground, really great place to be. Always getting new members, just doing a lot of great stuff on the site. So if you haven't checked it out, definitely check it out. Definitely join up because we're always looking for new members. It's just a pretty great place to be. So definitely check that out. And another shout out goes out to Movie Mayhem with Spanky and G. A really great podcast. I think their most recent episode was on The Goonies. That's actually a movie that I haven't seen, believe it or not. I never really seen that. I actually have the DVD in my room right now, so I might watch it like this weekend or so. Because from what I have heard, it seems to be a very good movie. I've really only seen parts of it, so I would have no idea. But I might try and watch that this weekend because the two of them liked it, so I'll go ahead and give it a try. And just a really great podcast. Really great people. If you haven't checked it out, definitely do it because it's just really, really entertaining. The chemistry between those two is just absolutely amazing. Just really great. Really enjoyable to listen to. And so, usually right now I would do Shoot the Shuffle, but I'm not going to do that. And I probably won't be doing it for a while. And if you watch Channel Talk, the Channel Talk video on my channel, you'll know why. But just in case you haven't heard, I'll go ahead and spoil it very briefly. I got a copyright strike against my channel for the Clockwork Orange episode because I parodied the intro to the movie. And unfortunately, the people that own the Clockwork Orange name didn't really appreciate the parody aspect of it, so it was taken down. I got a copyright strike, so I can't make any videos longer than 15 minutes. So it's going to be pretty much all the episodes are going to be rather short episodes, where they're just going to be split in half. And I don't really want to split them in half, but I'd rather do that than not have an episode at all. So that's just going to be the way it is, and I'm going to Shoot the Shuffle to make it a little bit more shorter. And maybe by the time that expires in August, maybe I'll bring it back, but who knows. Anyway, it's time to move on to the main event, Twilight. And a lot of people have talked about this movie. It's pretty, I don't know what's the right word to say it. It's pretty infamous, I guess you could say, because it's the first movie in the infamous Twilight series, or saga, as it likes to be called. But this is the first movie, and it's a pretty interesting movie, I guess you could say. I wouldn't really call the Twilight movies interesting, but whatever. So I guess I'll go ahead and talk about it. This came out around 2008 or so, and I remember not really being talked about that much. I would hear about it in some circles, but for the most part, it was a pretty kind of sleeper little movie. No one ever really heard of it. I believe around the next year or so, like in the next few months, when the New Moon trailer came out, everybody started talking about it. Just like everybody was like, New Moon, Twilight. And I'm like, you know what? I'll go ahead. I'll see it just because everybody's talking about it. And I guess I'll just go ahead and talk about it now. So Bella played by Kristen Stewart, who I'll just go ahead and say it right now. I think she's actually a very good actress. Not in these particular movies because she's not really trying in this, and really nobody's trying in this movie. They're all bad. Like, these are pretty badly written characters, so you're going to get badly performed performances, In other movies, like Adventureland and Runaways and stuff like that, Kristen Stewart can actually be pretty good, but in these movies, she's not, and I don't really blame her. I wouldn't want to read any of this dialogue either, because the writing is pretty bad. But anyway, she moves to Forks, Washington to live with her father, Charlie. And she moves from Phoenix, Arizona. I believe that's what it is. I'm not too sure, but I'm pretty sure it's Phoenix, Arizona. And she goes to Forks High School, and she's intrigued by these people, the Cullen clan, I guess you could say. And they consist of, well, the people that go to the school are Edward, Jasper, Alice, and Emmett. I'm not sure if Rosalie goes there as well. I'm really not sure. I could be wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure she doesn't. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think she goes there. I'm not sure. But anyway, she's part of the clan, and like they're very pale, which kind of it's a little bit suspicious to say the least. But and she's pretty intrigued by them, and she stares at them, and they stare at her. And that's pretty much a running gag, not just in this movie, but in the entire series. Everybody stares at one another. Like, they can't speak any dialogue to each other. They just stare at each other. And it can get pretty awkward at times. So, anyway, they end up being in biology class, and he appears to not like her, because he, like, just storms out before the class starts, after some more awkward staring. And then later on, she's nearly hit by a van, and Edward, and he's the main character, obviously, and he ends up stopping the vehicle with his bare hands, which, yeah, that doesn't sound suspicious at all. That doesn't look suspicious. I mean, it's just like, it's insane. But anyway, his father is Carlisle, and yeah, he's a doctor. The wife, Esme, just stuff like that. And the family really isn't that interesting. It's not as interesting as you'd think it'd be. Some of them do have some pretty interesting backstories, but for the most part, they're not all that interesting. And Bella ends up discovering that Edward is a vampire. Big shock. And he treats it like a vegetarian vampire. He only consumes animal blood. They never consume human blood. And so they end up falling in love, blah, blah, blah. And they introduce her to the family. And then these three vampires, it's like, they're nomads, basically. They just kind of travel from land to land. They just kill people, suck their blood, and stuff like that. And it's led by James, who's actually pretty cool, honestly. I'm not going to lie. He's actually pretty cool. That whole clan is pretty cool as well. And they have an awesome theme with it. The score as well is also really cool as well. It sort of has this rock edge to it, and it's just really cool. And so he ends up trying to hunt Bella, and they end up going to Phoenix where Bella is hiding, and really, Bella's father is just useless. Like, he is the most useless character ever. Just can't do anything. Like, he doesn't do anything. Oh, Tom Selleck dad is what I call him, because he looks exactly like Tom Selleck. He has the mustache and the whole thing going on. So Bella pretty much, she has to make up a lie to kind of escape from this whole vampire clan. And she kind of complains about the whole daily life with Tom Selleck dad. And basically says that she doesn't want to be stuck here like her mom. And it's kind of implied that's why she divorced him way back when. And so she ends up escaping, goes to Phoenix, and he claims that he holds Bella's mother hostage, but it's all a lie. And the whole the final fight scene between the vampire clan and the clones take place in a ballet room. And it's like it's abandoned, basically. It's abandoned, and it hasn't been used in a while. And it's explained in the film, and I think in the book as well. That's where Bella used to take ballet. So it's kind of like a childhood kind of memory for her. And yes, I've read the books, unfortunately. Giant waste of time, I know. But, yeah, so apparently, one interesting thing about this is the way that vampires, the Twilight vampires anyway, can be killed is that their necks have to be snapped and be set on fire. Apparently, that's the way to destroy a vampire in here, which I guess, is a really interesting way, but sounds a little bit too complicated or just kind of weird. I don't know. But Bella ends up being bitten by James, and Edward sucks out the venom. And this is kind of creates a little bit of a struggle between the two because Bella ends up wanting to be a vampire and Edward does not. He will have none of that. And it kind of makes Edward feel a little bit stubborn, at least when I watched it anyway. But that's just me. So, that's pretty much the movie. There's really not a whole lot to it. You know, I mean, for a first installment, it's not as bad as everyone says. Don't get me wrong. Now, the sequels are pretty bad. I'm not going to lie. I actually saw New Moon in theaters, which I don't know why, but I did. But, yeah, overall, this movie, it's pretty much what you'd expect to be. You know, as a first installment of Twilight movies, it's not that bad. I mean, I do like the cinematography. I kind of like the direction. You know, the whole look of the film is really unique as well. The performances aren't that great. The ride isn't that great. So it is kind of a guilty pleasure movie for me. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. So, thank you for listening. And I'll see you all next time.